Thank you, everyone, for waiting. Coming up next, we have Ricey Osma. I always call him Ricey, so trying to do the full name is so confusing. Running Bayonetta 2 for us. Give it up to him.
Okay. Okay, first let's start on. I will count down to 0. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Hi, I'm Ricky, or how people so call me, Ricey, and I will be running Bayonetta. As first we're going into like a little bit of an outscaler. It says a bit of a backstory about the game, more about the God of War universe. So we have some free control up here just to show you a bit of the gameplay. So I can explain you a bit what we will be doing. So through the run I will say a lot of like PP or KK or PPKK. That's just reference to like combos, because this is a true platinum and hack and slash game, so there's a lot of combos we will be using. The P will be used as a punch, because that's just shortened. And the K is for kick. So when we do like punch, punch, kick, kick, we use initiate some combos. We'll be using that to just demolish the angels with Bayonetta, and to also get a lot of money, because that's our goal right now. But not here, because well, this is more of an outscaler. So here we just can take a lot of damage, can do anything what we want, and not die. So in this place we also get like this mech, but that will be used very late in the game, and I will explain there. But it kind of works the same as normal. So we can also use like punches, and that will initiate just a Gatling gun, or use some kicks for a shotgun. But that's just basically the basic of the game. Just a lot of punches and a lot of kicks.
Were truly the eyes that created the world. However, Aesir pitied the humans for their naivete and lack of free will. So the power he wielded was split into 2 equal halves, and entrusted each to humanity's
by the way, this is just nothing to do with the story. This is just to be shown off, just a little bit of a story. So everything that's been shown here is just like over the top and not relevant at all.
Just giving you a nice little taste of what's to come, I guess.
Yeah, indeed. Like it will show you a few enemies like this one that we will be fighting later.
Humans gained free will.
And previous in the mech that we'll just do.
With control of the eyes of the world,
even if it's just for one section.
Humans could choose their own paths. They awoke to their own identities.
And even if you think, why do I get so hit so much? Well, just as I said, I cannot take any damage, but the main mechanic of this gimmick of this game, except for the combos, is witch time. So when you dodge at the last possible second, you will initiate witch time, and it will just slow down every single enemy. But in this little section, we cannot use it. So here now in the video prologue, we can actually use it. And we can initiate just the money combos and focus in the story. So first what we're going to do is like defeat really quickly those 3, because we don't have 4 wheel guns yet. Okay. Now we have the guns, and we can also use the Unburn Climax, and if we do like a combo finisher, we summon some limbs of a demon. And that is pretty powerful against those enemies. Totally early in the game. Also, I want to keep my combo counter up, because that will count later towards more money. And by doing that, I will also taunt. That makes the enemies pretty aggressive. They will do some more damage. But they will give in general more money. So that's nice. And if you use the Climax, that's if we have a magic bar through. That's just on our life bar. We can just summon the limbs of the demon instantly with no combo finisher and actually use it with bigger combos. That is a lot of AoE damage and in general more damage than we do just with our normal guns.
Do you also get more combo or money from it, or?
No. Well, with a few attacks, you can get more money from it because you will shoot fire a lot of more bullets. So if I do like PP and K, that will initiate a lot of bullets for my normal guns. So I get at least twice as much combo points. Also, it depends a little bit on the if you're in the air or the ground, which kind of combo finish you will get. So if you're in the air, I can use my kicks to just smack them down on the ground. And if I'm on the ground, I will launch them, and vice versa. So now our first mini boss. He can be pretty annoying with his attacks in general, and of course we don't want to get hit. But if you cut it down, it's fairly easy. Like, he can swing with his arm really quickly. He can also just pinch his arm to us from the sky, and yeah, that's really hard to dodge in general. But totally in a prologue, we can stun lock him fairly easy with just launching him. And then yet, at the end of some enemies, like namely big enemies, we can do a finisher. So because Bayonetta is an Umbra Witch, she can summon in general demons, and they like to eat angels. So we will see this a few times through the run. Just demolishing angels in a pretty bloody way. So, if it is like, if you normally follow the story, you notice there have been a few things off. So the balance in this world is kind of off because a crucial thing in this world is missing. And because of that, our giant demon pet has escaped our control and is attacking us. So this is the thing I wanted to get off, because it does a lot of damage. It does not matter if you don't get it, but it's kind of just luck. He's doing another finisher to just finish him off. And this was just the prologue. So in the prologue we wanted to get a lot of money, because it is easy to get it here, because a lot of fights. And we are going to save up the money to buy a few crucial items in Chapter 2. Chapter 1 is, that's coming up next year, is kind of sketchy on a few fights, but it's good doable. And at the end of every single chapter you will get a ranking. Okay, Chapter 1. The run will mainly take place in this city, in Noatem. We're going to save our friend, or Galpel, Jean, because of our demon body. She got kicked out of her soul and got directly into Inferno, aka just the hell of this world. So, making progress towards the end of the chapter, we're going to pick up a few lollies here. And the lollies have purposes. So, the purple lollipop will refill our magic in general that we can use to use the Umbreon Climax. The red lollipop will increase temporarily our power. Like a small lollipop, somewhere like 10 seconds, I believe. There are also bigger versions of them, and we will get them later. So, get into this place and on this pillar. We just skip the trigger to initiate the fight, so we just skip the fight because, well, we want to go fast, we don't want to do it. And dodging in the air like this is the fastest way for now to go underwater. Also, in this chapter you learn, like, if you double tap dodge button, you can turn into one panther. So that's really just for fast moving forward. The panther has in general no attacks, just for quick movement. Okay, just right behind this corner, we get a Midas touch. If you all know, if you're like Midas, you turn things to gold. So if you do that on, use it like on enemies, they will turn into gold. And you will get quite some more money from them, because every single hit you land will give you money. Flying ones. Like, this is the exact same enemy that we got from the prologue, but they are like more beefed up. They will do a lot more damage, and they have in general more damage, health. But we don't see them more now, like much more in later chapters. Really in the early game enemy. I will explain the LP later because we can use it in the shop. Okay, this enemy. So if you see the enemy turn into gold, because I use the Midas. And I get a lot of extra money from it, just by hitting it.
So Midas Touch is like a usable item that you have to actively use.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I got it wrong in my head then.
That's gotta hurt. Okay, that was a good fight. Okay, so here I will grab this chest for safety. It contains some green lollipop, and if you use it, we get health back. Boom. The flying enemies are really weak, so with a good climax, they will be gone in no time. So in this corpse, the one that we just defeated, like the one with the big sword, this guy, named Loki, is trapped into it. He's just a guy also here. He wants to go to the mountain, and we want to go under it.
That's no way to talk to
And
a
angels
lady.
are like following
No
because of
wonder
the
your
story, the
guardian
reasons.
angels are trying to give you a good spanking.
Whatever, love. You've already been following me, so let's make a deal. You save me, I'll show you around this joint. Heading to Fimbulventr, aren't we? That
He
makes
will
two
throw in
of
a
us.
few times in
And
a
it will take
fight,
two of
but
us, won't it,
to be
now?
honest, he's pretty useless.
You seem to...
And for some reason, I don't think he can die even. His attacks are like really weak. He just walks around a bit, and he's not even a dummy that like distracts enemies. So in this chest, there's a yellow lollipop, and that makes us not getting hits from any enemies for a little bit.
Is that all you've got?
But we will use those items way later in the run. But we get them already, so we don't have to buy them.
Is that all you've got? Get out!
Okay. There's a lot of them, but they also be gone easily. Now we are a new enemy. They have quite some big bowling balls again now against arms that they can shoot, and they can do a lot of damage. So we want to watch out for that.
So close. Is that all you've got?
Okay, he's good. Some enemies will actually drop their weapons and you can use them for a little bit. But in general, we have only like one good fight there where we actually use it.
Try to keep up.
Oh yeah, Loki also screams a lot like try to give up, but if you go too far from him already, he will scream slow down a little, so yeah. So this is a giant snake, but also wants to grab Loki because why not?
Are there like special things you have to do with your combo during these kinds of bosses, or is it just?
No, not at all. We can use any combo that we actually want to.
Oh wow.
Just use the one that does a lot of damage. Like some bosses contains a little bit of a gimmick, but in general, we are still free to move around and what we want to do. And finish it off. Okay, that was chapter 1. So, we only get the silver ranking because we actually skipped a lot of fights and also some secret fights, and that will be also taken in account. So before starting the next chapter, we're going to our first shopping trip. There we get 2 of the most useful items. Also because of I grabbed an LP. The LP is like, you can get a weapon from Modan. We will use it a little bit, but not much. Okay, first we're going to buy the Super Mirror 64-2. Techniques the battery fin that will increase like or dodging ability, and 1 small lollipop. And I actually forgot to buy something. Luckily the game loads pretty well, so it's not really big of a deal. I want the next one, Midas Touch. Before starting chapter, going to change Reinhardt's appearance. Because the Super Mirror 64-2 contains a few of Nintendo character style outfits, but this one has actually in pretty good use. So after you hold the button to like shoot, the bullets, instead of just 1 bullet every single time, it will increase to 2. So basically you will do twice as much damage after like a second. And also for this fight, he is going to do this. You stun lock them and just kill them off.
Now there's a speed strat if I've ever seen one.
Okay. We use this strat for a few fights, mainly where there's a lot of enemies just coming.
You've been naughty.
Welcome on water because why not? Because if time slows down, you can also walk on water apparently.
I've never seen a witch, or a sage for that matter, pull off something like that.
Come on, love. You think I'm just going to tell you my secrets when I don't even know whose side you're on? All right. It seems I can control the remembrance of time. That's a big deal here.
Basically, you can just
It seems.
jump between times to
I mean,
points and just repair
no.
things that are from the
I got
past.
nothing else to say, love.
There
But he lost his memory. Okay, the next fight. This guy with some big hammers. So if our magic bar is full, instead of just using Climax, you can also use Torture Attack that does a lot of damage on a few enemies. You do it a few times, like for this one, to kill fast. But it's only for like single target and not such big enemies.
I'm kind of sad that the Panther doesn't change appearance with your own appearance.
What do you mean?
Like, because you look like Fox now, that the Panther would have like Fox helmet on or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Sadly not. The thing is, if you are like dressed up as Peach or Daisy, the limbs that Bayonetta will summon is from Bowser. So that's a kind of cool detail. But sadly, that's only like for that. a little bit of extra money from him, and go. This time he summoned a giant frog. King frog or something. He even has earrings. Okay. And that was chapter 2. Chapters are in general not that really long. Totally if you're not going for all the stuff like secrets, extra fights.
That performance might
Just
make the
explore.
back page of the classified.
So the next coming chapter is also not super long because it's only a boss fight. So in this game you have also just chapters that only contains one boss fight and that's it. So the giant snake one is still alive and he still doesn't give up.
This little one's made me a deal.
So now he actually captured Loki and we're going after it. We want of course the guy back.
I think we're going in entirely different directions.
So while I'm just shooting and dodging things, the reason the angels are behind Loki is because he's actually a half god and like a half of the god of chaos Aesir, and he contains power that the other half, the evil part, wants. And the evil part got so far to let the angels help him to capture Loki. Also, I want to change this. And we're kind of getting mixed up in this mess. Well, we are trying to go to Hell in General to save John. So what I have not told yet is like if you switch a weapon, your combo will automatically be resetted. So you can use it a lot of times to just reset a combo to just attack really quickly between certain attacks. That's why I want to have like double guns in certain parts instead of just a sword there. These places are more like a flat scholar in general because, well, the enemy can get a fixed amount of damage and after some time you will just go to the next place. You just jump over this because we don't want to initiate this time because everything will be slowed down and that's actually slow this time.
Can I quickly butt in with some donation incentives then?
Sure you can.
Okay, coming up next after this run, if we, well, do not do the setup buffer, which I think we're gonna do, we got a Dishonored 2 run coming up, and you can choose what character we're gonna play as, either Emily or Corvo. Currently, Emily is in the lead by €5, so if you want to see Corvo more than Emily, be sure to donate for that.
Okay, so next part. We're now the closest to the Gate of Paradiso. So we're really close to just heaven in general. And we have to defeat 3 of those monsters. Well, monsters more like angels. So the first 2 are pretty easy to kill. Because they don't contain that much health. Now we're going to finish off the rear one. Also we're dashing a little bit so we come closer, faster to him. So before fighting him further, we're going to initiate a big lollipop.
And what does that lollipop do?
It's still the same as a normal red lollipop. It increases our power. But the difference between the big and the small one is just the time difference. There's no extra damage. Okay. Going to slice them with a sword. Sadly, I took a few damage, so I don't get the pure platinum, and that's like the highest ranking that you can get. But not big of a problem. Before going to chapter 4, going to do a quick shop because we really need the lollipop soon.
Diplomacy is fake.
Because yes, even in chapter 4 there is also a boss. No techniques. Just bought the Quao within. The Quao within that can turn us in a little Quao. That so we can fly a little bit. It will be used here and on another place to skip and fight. Okay, so that was one fight skip. In his chest, we get an extra purple one. And here is reviewed if the full moon shines. Apparently witches can just walk on everything. Doesn't matter which angle. Going to rotate a little bit more to kill this all.
You've been naughty.
And it's this guy again.
Is that
So we used to using some PPKK to finish him off. I'm trying to finish him off quickly. I have a good name. So now the moon disappears and we cannot walk on anything anymore. Expect to use the normal ground. Loki got Doe in a different place and he's fighting a strange guy that we will be fighting soon. So yes, in this chapter there's also a boss fight. Say hi to the Lumen Church. But he's not super hard. He is circling between two different kind of attacks. Just to try to stun lock him. Okay, first phase. Now we are just in an initiated air battle, popping a big lollipop. This one too. And do it again. Also, yes, on the background there's some like demon and angels fighting each other. Because the Luminous can summon angels. So why not an all-out battle? And as last. Punch out. Ow. Okay. And that was the first Luminous encounter. We will encounter him 2 more times.
That performance might make the back page of the classified.
Before entering, we're going to shop again. We will be shopping a lot just for a few items.
Hey,
Going to buy a Midas. Pokemon those. And will be it.
Is there like a limited amount of consumables you have on you for each chapter or something?
Well, in general, you can only buy up to 3 of them for each lollipop, but you can craft them. That we will do later, so I can explain that later. But in general, we can have more, up to 9, I believe, but we can only buy 3 per lollipop. But we can always craft more, so there's not like a limit to them per chapter, unless you don't have the materials. So, because we got underwater, we are now having the ability to turn into like a water eel. It's kind of awkward to control, but it goes really fast underwater, so that's good. Totally if you know a little bit how to control it. But in general, it's just awkward. So, we're using this device to turn back time on a few things. So we're going to repair by this bridge that has been like broken down. Now this is repaired, we try to go to the top. So not only angels are after us, but apparently demons are also after us. So we get, it's not like super much, but we will encounter a few demon fights. The fun fact is about this place, even if you see the water rising, the water is already there. It doesn't matter. You can just go as fast up, and the water is already there. And I screwed up on this place.
The bridge to the heavens.
So what you normally wanted to do is go around this and
Not really.
jump
Not
up
really.
around the first pillar.
But you're right.
So you skip a little bit.
This is it. Call it a woman's intuition.
But then it's just
Women's intuition.
well, the zone
What kind
that
of
the
silly
text
comic book
triggers.
shit is that? You still don't know a thing about me.
Let's just say I have plenty of experience with nothing
So Loki
coming to
still
mind.
doesn't have his memory
What?
and still wants to go to
I
Fimbulvitr.
spent 500 years not knowing who I
So
was.
we hope we can cross the
I
bridge and
only
bring him
found
there.
out the truth recently.
You too? Listen, I don't remember a thing. Nothing.
So a
I
little
don't
bit
even know
about
why
of
I'm
her
so damn sure I
backstory
need
is
to go
that
to that mountain.
Bayonetta is an Ember
But
Witch,
I know
and
I
she
have
can
to.
summon, well, if
It's
you already
all I
cast
know.
like
Does
demons,
that make any sense?
but she
Come now,
has to
little
defeat
one.
angels, so the
Can't
demons
let the
can
girls
like
know you've
eat the
got a
souls of the
heart.
angels.
It's not like that.
She's
If that's
under a
what you
contract,
need,
kind of with
that's
the
all
demons to
sense
use the
you
powers.
need. Just believe. That's what I did.
And
Bayonetta.
as a trade, she will actually live forever. So yeah. This is why I wanted to skip Quiet Zone, because, well, you can walk up to here already. And, well, you don't have to wait. So it was a little bit of time, but it's okay. Not big of a deal. Not like minutes. So I believe this is like the last fight, or one of the last fight that we use the swords on the angels. Because after it, we don't really need to use it anymore. Also, yes, that's the Ember climax of this sword. If you rotate it, looks like an helicopter. Okay.
You're making it easy.
All the luck.
And now we control Loki a little bit, because we have to escape from that guy. So if you get no see, this guy has ice balls on him, instead of just the fireballs from the other guy.
Crap! Nothing's working!
So there are like two elements of them, of each of them.
Too close!
And I believe jumping in general is faster, so that's why we used bringing up around.
That was easy. If I can just do something about that.
Okay, get that. Get Midas, get a lollipop.
Is that all you've got?
So it's a little bit of hard to fight both of them at the same time, but if you control the Umber Climax good, you can crowd control them both. Okay. I'll step to 5.
That performance might make the back page of the classified.
Going to chapter 6. Chapter 6 is also used only in boss fight chapter, so it doesn't take long. Totally with this boss if you do it right. So before starting, I actually didn't shop for Mega, so I actually want to shop for that. You wanted to switch actually something around because you cannot use it in the first phase. You cannot just go to the menu. That's it. Okay. Okay, we want to set this here and go.
Saying that's just going to make me take him there. After I've taken care of my business, of course.
So what you want to do is, just like damage him really quickly, so you can go to the next phase. It is really damage percentage. Use this. Okay. That was the boss. Like, it's one of the easiest, the quickest boss in the game.
I don't think you'll be able to
Mostly
get
if you do like the first phase really good. Because you also will be just swapping down until you will meet the damage.
You've been naughty.
Okay, good fight. Fact that I forgot Big Lollipop.
Didn't think I'd miss a good fight, did you?
Go quickly to the shop again. Do you stock up on a few things? Okay. So we kind of found a shortcut to the real Gates of Hell. There we want to go to save Sean. But a giant demon doesn't let us. So yeah, again, a boss fight. This contains of 2 giant eyeballs. So first phase contains just defeating this one. And this one is also the hardest. Just trying to shoot him a lot. He can use his some tentacles of him and try to damage us, trying to back us off, etc. So with some good dodging we get there. Also, for some reason, those guys, like angels and demons, can shoot rockets. Okay, got it. That was a bit fortunate. He tries to suck us up, but we don't let him. Now to the second phase. That's the second eyeball. There's more like of 2D section. Okay. The second eyeball is way easier because he has just 1 health bar. And his attacks are way easier to read. Or just to dodge. Shooting his lasers out of nowhere. Okay, in the down. But he's a pretty big mini, so he doesn't really give up. And sucks us up anyway. Okay, so now we're inside him, and here we will encounter a set of new demon friends that we need to fight. They're like the versions of those enemies that we fought in the prologue. They're like the weakest kind. Ouch. Even if they are weak, they can still be nasty. Okay, I have full magic. Going to pop a red lolly soon because we're going to fight the Lumen Sage again. Because apparently he's also in here. Just using the same stats. Okay. Onto give a small lollipop. Okay, took a little bit. The first phase was actually supposed to go as normally, but sadly I screwed a little bit up. Wave interrupted him, so he got some more free movement. So yes, just got in a laser. Now we can know for sure the big guy is dead. But the Lumen Sage is not dead.
That performance might make the back page of the classified.
You get a lot of cards, but those are for some co-op play. It's not really useful for a Cinnamon. Like, not at all. You cannot even use them. Okay, going to stock up a little bit of items again. And going to chapter 8. With all the stuff that happened, we still managed to get close to the Gate of Hell, but it's protected by a big barrier, so we need to remove the barrier first. Also, this is one of the places I'm using the Quao to skip a fight here. It's kind of sketchy because you want to go to this platform here and grab it. Ah. Yeah, this stuff can happen because then you're too low or not on a good place. Like if you use the Quao, even when you fly, you descend a little bit every single second, so yeah. Okay, good, second try. So we skip the fight, just leave Loki behind. because who needs him? Oh. Okay. So this device that we want to use to damage a little bit of the barrier. It's not like they suddenly need to find something.
Is that all you've got?
In the meantime, we need to fight the big wolf. And the ball can transform in a lot of different types, like the swords. And if you attack it enough, he will just get demolished and explodes at the end. Okay.
Try to keep up. You need something to open it.
Want to use the swords here.
Did someone say do-do-do-do?
Okay, back to the... So this guy is a pretty powerful enemy, but if he at least attacks you, hits you, if you keep him off, he's not big of a threat. Okay, going back here a little bit. Grabbing this piece. We will get soon the second piece, so then you will see what will happen if you collect both of them. And collecting this piece of an LP. We want to collect 2 more, because that will unlock a new weapon, and then it will become a little bit ridiculous if you use that weapon.
Try to keep up. Hey, wait!
I don't want to wait.
Take care of
Okay.
this.
So here's the second piece, and we will get an extra magic bar, like 1 extra note, and that can make kind of a difference sometimes. Always nice to have some extra magic. Okay,
Right.
that's 1 side down. Going to prepare some stuff. All new again. Going around the corners here and just skip the fight here, because we don't want to fight them. If you go behind the water here, there's another bit of the LP. Also, we need to fly back here, because if we go back via the road here, enemies will spawn. They get triggered if you grab the piece. Here will be a little bit of an underwater battle. They are pretty annoying enemies. They can like place landmines and have swords. So you need to watch out for them. Okay. So we got the energy capsule, actually use stones, whatever it is, for the next launcher. Going back here a little bit, so we can grab a free extra Midas. Paul's kinda angry, so yeah. Okay.
Dreadful.
Going to fight this demon here. It's the same enemy that we fought like before, but he is only in different color. There's not really a difference. Okay.
That was easy.
I'll just grab the red thing because it contains a piece of an heart. To increase our life, but we don't need to. So now we have destroyed the second part of the barrier.
That performance might
And
make
in the next
back
chapter we
days
will
look
destroy it
classic.
fully. Okay, we can just go.
Right then.
Going to prepare more stuff.
Slow down, will ya?
I don't need to slow down. Also here, using the crow again to skip a fight.
Slow down, will ya?
Let them make the portal and destroy here a secret chest for an extra mega lollipop.
Try to keep up.
And because we got the last piece of the launcher, some enemies of course will be will spawn. And of course use the Midas here, because he's a good target to gain some extra money. So this is the only enemy we are grabbing the weapon from. Only on this specific place.
Slow down, will ya?
Okay, before continuing, we're going down here, because we're going to grab the last piece of the LP, so we can use it in the next chapter. Then stuff will get ridiculous a little bit.
Your turn.
Oh, the ball was here again, this time transforming into some dirt. going to finish him off. Even with all the trouble that we got for the blue stones, for the launcher, we're just going to use him to destroy the last piece. Oh. So now we have also here a little bit of a boss fight. This is against Lopter. That's the evil part of Loki. They are both separate entities, by the way. So don't worry. Ow. Pretty painful. This is Loki. He can also manipulate time, so he just prepared something and tried to throw it at us. But no, he knights. Okay, that was a bit sketchy, but he survived it. He can have some quick attacks. So it took more damage than I actually wanted. Okay. So now some things in the story happened, and the next chapter will take place in Hell. Because we got through the gates.
Yay, we're in Hell.
Welcome to Hell, love. Like as Loki said.
Another ill?
So now, from Rodan, we delivered the LP, and as reward, we got a giant hammer. And the hammer is ridiculous. You can like abuse its mechanic a little bit. And it's also pretty weak. So normally the hammer is a slow moving weapon. Does quite some damage, but it is possible to like jump cancel the attack from the hammer. So we can actually just rotate around with a hammer, attacking super fast. So by that doing a lot of damage on enemies. We will mainly using this weapon and method for the coming time until the game ends. On a few occasions, look like. Okay, put out. So the next fight is a giant spider. So first, we're going to pop this one, and this one. Okay, it's gone. That's what I mean with the hammer, is ridiculous because, well, you can jump cancel it with every single first attack. And it just does. You can do it so quick and does so much damage, it's just stupid. So with some good timing and practice, you can do a lot. So also a positive thing about Hammer is because it's so slow, every single attack in what you do can pop up back a magic bar. So if you do it quick, we can refill our magic really quickly. Actually, Sloth. He is pressed in his saddle. He doesn't do his name good. But he is fast and he's really annoying to dodge and just attack. So if you don't watch out, he can kill you really fast. Okay, get this extra Mega Purple. Because they are free. A little bit of an outscaller. So here we have the shopkeeper, Wodan. He's also part-time Santa. It's visual and good literature.
I'll go easy.
But he's a pretty powerful demon. And he's in hell to actually kill something and make a weapon out of it. Because apparently that's just his business.
Can I quickly give some shoutouts here and there?
You can.
Okay, I would like to remind everyone that we are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We organize monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners. We're currently streaming live from Alphen aan den Rijn in the Netherlands. We want to thank ESA for supporting the event and allowing us to stream on their channel. We are currently raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society, which is a nationwide organization committed to fight cancer while aiming for more cure and a higher quality of life for those already battling the disease. 95% of your donations will go to the Dutch Cancer Society. The other 5% will help improve BSG.
So Wodan did just there a pretty good attack. He can like that insta-kill enemies. So of course you want him to use it every single time. He did it there on 3 dogs. That's good.
We're here. And
So that means that was pretty fast.
Looks
Jean, there she is.
And also, we're in the next chapter. We're about to say John.
His next payday. Chill, Bayonetta. Don't go shooting up my target, you dig? I need that one intact.
Don't make Santa angry, Barrio.
That performance might make the back page reclassified.
Okay. Next chapter, boss chapter. We're going to fight Alwyn. It's kind of like a plant. And she has Sean. Okay. So of course we want to defeat her and free Sean. If a giant hammer. Okay. Then we have to take this lolly, and go. Ah. Get out. Yeah, that's a bad fight. Okay, second phase finally. What I should have done was, like, on the first phase, use some big lollipop so she could be killed in one go. But okay, we're going to use it now. Okay. Second phase was way better. We're going to like resolve from a far distance or something that the Lumen Sage is attacking Loki, so we're summoning our horse and going after him, and Vodan finally got his weapon. Well, made from the boss a weapon. That's what he does. But we're not going to use that weapon because it is not really good. For the speedrun at least.
Being a deep.
Okay. I will on a horse. This is kind of a bit of a kind of side scroller. You can speed it up by holding forward. And we just need to make our way forward. We're going to Loki and Lumen Shade. That's actually Baldur from the first Bayonetta. Or how he wants to be called, Geddy or something. That's what he wants Bayonetta to call him. Because it is his dad apparently. Ah, Opet. That escaped. He's just also just roaming around in Inferno. I really like for the next fight, that's coming up soon. We will use the main strat as like the previous boss. Just Unburn Climax, Hammer, Red Lollipop and go. Smoothly. Almost time. Ah. And go. And he's gone. That was baller. So, because Loki is kind of special, he warped us out of Inferno, but not really the place that we wanted to be. We are now being sent back 500 years in the past. Right at the point of the witch hunts. That were like an event in the past in the Bayonetta universe that the Umbra Avengers are nearly extinct. Okay. Yeah, hello, okay. Shooting those boxes because we want this, so we have at least a full magic bar. Like I said before, this is mainly the stat we're going to use. Just swinging around a big hammer. So high, too wide a dragon. Because angels have very many headshots.
Is that all you've got?
Okay.
Wonderful. Is that all you've got? Don't make me beg.
By the way, the second person next to her, to Bayonetta, is actually her mother. It's Rabosa. She was a pretty powerful witch, but sadly she got killed in this version. Okay, there we go. And all those Rainbow Witches, all that. Going to grab this chest. Place a big lolly. Didn't want to do this book. Charge it so it does some extra more damage. There they go.
You've been naughty. Got you.
Can I do a quick plug?
You can.
Okay. Have you ever had that one teacher you just absolutely hated and you wanted to drop down the stairs? Well, do I have the donation incentive for you? For the low goal of 70 euros, you can drop McGonagall down the stairs in the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets run. So get to donating.
Not sure if that's more brutal than killing the angels and demons. There's a quick account here. So with those statues, it will shoot an lightning or just a laser in general. So we can initiate which time. So we can go pass by this and... Oh! Okay, that... Oh, whoa, okay. I survived apparently. That was a clutch. Okay. That's fire. Oh, good. Also going by here. That means we skip the fight. Okay. Get this chest quickly for an extra free lollipop. Poor guy. Getting demolished by 2 demons. Okay, chapter 39. Now we're going to one of the most fun chapters. First, of course, a shopping trip, because we need the lollies. I have a minus. Okay, good. Now it's time for a chapter to bring out the big guns, like we saw in the intro. We have a giant armor. And this device is also kind of a money-making device, because you get a lot of extra combat points. Totally, if you initiate, well, the Gatling gun combo. Just punch, punch, punch. want to watch out for those ships, really dodge them, because they do quite a lot of damage. So every single enemy you have fought, or like most of the enemies you fought, they will get down really easy now. Don't need to defeat those. We can use Pass the Birch. We're going to defeat the Giant Lizard. If Cannon's on his back. Oh, whoa! That is the second time ever that happened. He thought, no, don't go. This one. This one for safety. And he's dead. If you have a White Lollipop and have the Umber Climax, he will go down really quick. Like you use Melt him. Okay.
So close.
Need to take down this ship.
Is that all you've got?
This ship has 3 sides you need to attack. First you need to demolish the sides, and then you can then the ship will be gone.
Almost. So close. Got you. Almost.
Okay, just want to have this. Oh, screw that a little bit up. Have the Midas and just make money.
Is that all you've got?
Thank you for the money.
You've been naughty. Got you. Is that all you've got? Almost.
Okay. Could be better, but okay. And this was the chapter. Let's shop a little bit. I don't have enough money. I will explain a little bit soon why I do want to have more money. So, you want in general I have like 500,000, if I believe. just as long as the last number is 5. That's good. Then we can buy the Earrings of Ruin. What will that do is like replace our Umbral Climax with the Umbral Armor. So we can use the Umbral Armor for a little bit, and that can do a lot of damage on everything. Hammer is also fine, but of course slower. Down. It's just a little bit of a board of enemies. They're all finished, so that's good. It's not like to do with time. The last enemies. Expect for the ships. Now for the last enemy. Okay. Well, that was one big guy. Really quickly down. Just going to swing around with the hammer, defeating those guys. That will be done in no time. Okay. After this, there's a little bit of boss coming. It's the young, it's like Lobter. This is the younger version that we fought first. Okay. Open here and lolly. And go. He thinks he's smart and just throw a meteorite at us. Oh, he's wrong. Demons are apparently stronger than meteorites, and I haven't figured skull. Okay, and he's out.
And now, if you
Excuse me, my dear.
Going quickly here up. Here's a little bit of a safety option if you want. There's a chest with a red hot shot. If your lives are completely drained, you can use the red hot shot to just not die. It's like an extra life. Okay. Going back to our time, and it's the end of the chapter. Next chapter will be the final chapter with the final boss. I got barely enough money, so I still want to buy it, even I cannot afford a few other things. Earrings of Ruin. I could just buy one lolly. Duh. Not really big of a deal. So, the other benefit of having a Starfox outfit, instead of just a normal jet, we get the R-Wing. And can shoot like in Star Fox. And also, I can argue, I think, with it that it's also even faster, because it can shoot pretty quickly. Because on the normal chest you can use Bayonetta to shoot like demon arms, or use Walder for the swords. Here, both of the buttons are reserved for attacks, so you can shoot extremely fast if you want. Okay. So if you mess hard enough, they will go down really hard.
Can I do another quick plug?
You can.
Coming up right after the run after this, we've got a donation bit warp coming up. It is for the character choice of Dishonored 2. Currently, Emily is in the lead with 5 euros, but if you'd like to see Corvo, you can get that by donating more than 5 euros. So get your donations in.
Also, if you notice, if I shoot really hard, I will get my magic up really quickly. You just want to do this for safety. It's about trying fish again with ice. Again, videos need to demonetize. And he's up. Okay, time to go to the final boss. Before that, we want some extra stuff, of course. The last materials, because we're going to craft a few lollipops. Because the book that we got in chapter 1, with that you can craft lollipops if you want, if you have enough materials. Oh, at the end of the run we have just enough that we can craft a few. Okay, this... Everyone's a moment, and just to be sure, go in for an extra shopping trip to fill the rest on, because well, I didn't have enough money first, so you just want to have this stocked up with the money I had. Really a sketchy money one. It's not that big of a deal if you don't get the armor for the final boss, but it's of course faster.
Yeah, we have a couple of runners in chat who are very nervous.
Nervous even. And there goes. Okay, second phase. Say hi to Acer, God of Chaos. Ouch.
God of annoying teleporting. Wow.
Yes, another little hit. I better use the right one already. So the power of himself is to like make things that he wishes for to reality, so he can summon like everything if he wants. Stand still for 1 second, thank you. Okay. Now we have that going. And of course, he can summon space, like a giant space station. Yeah, love. Got to get that backfired in a few seconds. Okay. That was decent. But yeah, that was the final boss. Time to knock him out. So with the power from Lumen Sage and Umber Witch, we can summon a kind of a god. It's a fairly unknown god. It's called Onde. And we're going to kick his soul. No, his body out of his soul. Let me say, because his soul will apparently stay behind and his body will be kicked up to heavens. There he goes. Shell wants to do also her part, because she's back. Okay, he's done. So now some extra story stuff, and we're going to have some playable credits. So time will be coming up in like a minute or two, maybe 3. We need to clear some really fast fights. Like in normal Plasma games, it has playable credits, and everything is like really squishy, so it dies so fast. So in the playable characters we are actually forced with certain weapons, so here we only have the swords. The other fight we had only guns. Mainly we have the guns. But here we were forced with the swords. Also we would use mainly the hammer, I guess. Just slam and slam and slam. It's the fastest start, just slam them. Even we have to wait a little bit. Okay, time should be coming up. Yeah. And oh wait, not. Time. That was it. That was Bayonetta 2, third climax one. Everybody, thanks for watching. And I hope you all enjoyed the win. Have a nice evening or afternoon where you live. And that was it.
Thank you very much for that run, Ricey. And I have to say, that was extremely close to PB, actually. You were like half a minute off. So that was just painful. But anyways, thank you very much for that amazing run. I do love me some Bayonetta, honestly. I need to play the second game. Coming up next after this little bit of setup time, we've got Mokardon coming back with a Fallout New Vegas glitch-less, because it's a Fallout game, so you have to specify that you're trying to glitch less, because you're gonna glitch anyways. Anyways, see you guys in a little bit.